Welcome to the Lodge. You've accessed
the Lodgecast experience.
Warning, warning, dangerous spoilers ahead. Enjoy.
Looking for some hot takes on the Lodgecast. I need phone counting library rights. I want some hot takes in my eardrums. Watch out for salad dragons. These takes are coming in hot tonight. I want some hot takes. I need your hot takes.
Hello and welcome to a blood-guzzling episode of Hot Takes. I'm your Lodge Master. With me, as always, is Brother Bischke.
I like ballet.
We got Brother Lucas.
Good evening.
And, of course, for a movie such as this, Lodge Mistress Milster is here. They said it wouldn't be done. Bischke said it shouldn't be done. And yet here we are, covering Abigail late in the game.
I want to watch your blood.
We had a lot of people, my dear sweet Lodge father included, that was like really on our case. Even this far after the release date. It's like, when's the Abigail app? And Brother Justin was like, you guys should probably do Abigail, right? You guys are going to do that. And I'm like, fuck! It keeps coming up like a bad penny. It always turns up. So let's find out how bad this penny was. Brother Bischke, what's it about?
How do you get the protein as quick as possible into the bloodstream? A little schnapps.
RottenTomatoes.com. After a group of would-be criminals kidnap the 12-year-old ballerina daughter of a powerful underworld figure, all they have to do to collect a $50 million ransom is watch the girl overnight.
Simple enough.
In an isolated mansion, the captors start to dwindle one by one, and they discover to their mounting horror that they're locked inside with a no normal little girl.
With a normal little girl.
Say that again?
Yeah, no.
That they're locked inside. Oh, I'm sorry. I put a the in there. That they're locked inside with no normal little girl.
Okay.
Now it's terrifying.
And no normal.
Period.
They were would-be criminals, and Lucas referred to them as Ocean's 11 cents. This is the... Is that funny? These are the filmmakers behind Ready or Not, and you can kind of tell.
And the Scream requel.
You can kind of tell because it's in an old creaky house.
It felt like the same set from Ready or Not. Like they had to use it. They couldn't like get rid of it. So they were like, we'll just bang out a new script and shoot something here.
You know, as the Lodgecast years go on, one location horror films start to
Bischke loves a desktop horror, but he doesn't like one location.
I can take desktop.
One location's fine as long as there's a computer hooked up to the internet that can take you different
as long
places.
as you're getting some FaceTimes from outside.
I remember seeing this trailer a lot in the theater, and it was one of those, the trailer gives away too much.
We got to talk about the trailer.
You've seen the trailer, you've seen the movie.
Yeah.
But what brought me out here tonight, besides our fans and family and fellow listeners and us, is Dan Stevens, Mr. Dan Stevens.
Oh, like, God. What a treasure.
He's amazing. He makes everything.
He elevates everything he's in.
Much sweeter, except maybe for this, because he had this weird accent. And at first
he had a Ratzo Rizzo accent.
The back of the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. I was like, who's he talking like here? And then I think we settled on like a Dick Tracy character.
Yes. It's like, I work for Big Boy Caprice. Wait till Flat Top hears about this one. But it's always funny when a Brit is doing
hamming it up.
But and as you find out in this, he loses his accent later, because something happens to him. So it's like there's a few different layers of hammy accent work on top of one another.
And then one of his co-stars, Kevin Durant, had such a like molasses weird accent that we had to look him up, Lodge Master. And you said he was Quebec
he's Canadian, and they call him out as Canadian in this, but he looks like
Russian. He looks like Russian Elon Musk.
He looks like Elon Musk on steroids, and so I'm pretty sure he's South African. But the trailer, it's like the filmmakers are in a bind with the trailer because
Right.
there's such a twist. It's like From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do we know what time the twist came in? Did you
It's like
clock
an hour in, probably,
Okay.
or 45 minutes.
It was later.
It was a long time.
Yeah, it was a minute.
And the twist is that the girl is a vampire, which you find out in the trailer.
Right.
And
immediately?
Right.
Immediately. So when I saw the trailer, I too was like,
When she
what-
turned into a vampire.
I'm like, why do we need to even see this?
Yeah.
I get it. Like,
Yeah.
I know what's going to happen. But we were going in knowing that. So we were clocking, like, if we didn't know, would it still be interesting? And there's no way you could know that she was going to, there was going to be any vampiric activity in this. So it just sucks that trailers, like, have to
ruin everything.
ruin
Yeah.
everything.
They should have just shown like slaughter, blood splash.
Yes.
Don't
Right.
show
You
her
know?
face with the teeth.
Yeah.
Cut around it.
It's
yeah.
like M. Night's Trap that we
Right.
just covered. It's like you to sell it, you have to let all delicious cats out of the bag.
Yeah,
In
I mean,
these
it
days,
is
yeah.
tough because like I do like a vampire film, and it's like that could get me there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
And you wouldn't necessarily go to see a bunch of 11-cent crooks.
To see like
get slaughtered. I
Trump-
mean, I might.
but I knew
Sounds
like-
good.
but I-
Sounds all right.
But I knew we were like in rough waters when like I was just laughing like
Yeah,
a
Lucas-
comedy.
Lucas was
laughs.
laughing.
Though I know there's like dark humor in the piece, but
But you were not laughing
was-
at the
It was a
yeah,
piece.
yeah. I was just like yucking it up because like some of the scenes just felt like, you know, Law and Order, like audition scenes, you know,
Oh, that's
like where
funny.
people are like super dramatic and
Well-
they're trying to like school you. Like
Yeah.
he just straight spit facts at your ass, you know, like that
most
kind of vibe.
most of the dialogue is different members of the crew speculating on each other's backstories. And it's kind of taking a page from Clue. Like that's kind of the fun of Clue. And I have to say, like, I wasn't mad at it in this. I'd rather them be talking about their like suspected backstories than some other, like the lore of the house.
Right.
Like they see some old, like almost cave paintings on the wall of like this house and its history, and they
They never engaged with it.
we don't engage.
Which I thought was restraint.
It's like someone in a hat. Is that supposed to be?
The dad and the girl.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like a statue of the dad and the girl and a painting of the dad and the girl.
But nothing deeper. It's like, I don't know.
I was confused about the setup just because it was like you must all spend the night in a haunted house to receive your inheritance.
Lucas had a big problem
and
with that.
yeah, Giancarlo Esposito is like this weird lawyer who's like, you got to do it. You got to be here for 23 more hours or something. And we all groaned. We all clicked. We're like, oh man, like it's not one night. It's 23 hours.
Yeah, just make
Like,
it
that's-
12.
Yeah, we're like, that's too long. Like,
Even
we can't hang
12.
out here for 23 hours. And then he leaves them there, and I'm kind of like the one raising my hand in class, where I'm like, wait, they're staying there. Why? Like,
there was
wasn't.
no good reason.
It was
Right.
not clear to me. Oh, they get money? Sure, okay, but like I still need more excuse.
Yeah,
The idea was they kidnapped this girl and her dad is going to pay them to release her within the next
24 hours. And they know
Got
that
it.
because
Got it.
And they needed what, 6 people to
guard-
Right.
to
to
watch
guard
this
a little
girl who
girl.
you don't know is a vampire.
And the house they brought her to, the stash house, was just like off market, or that was Giancarlo's house.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. A lot of questions.
But we
Lot
also
of
found
questions.
out that it had fresh bedding for everyone.
Yeah, it was like the fridge is stocked, but then later when they go to the kitchen, I said it looked like an insane asylum,
Well,
like shower treatment room.
the house is like nice, but then there's like sections of it that look like the Blumhouse production company logo build. You know, like they'll just walk through like
some
fucking
stained mirrors,
saw room.
yeah,
you know?
rusty chains hanging from the ceiling. It's like a kitchen.
But this 24-hour thing was.
I got hung up on it.
I got hung up on it too, but for different reasons. Because it's a pacing problem when I'm like, I have to be in this house with these people for 24 hours. Like, if he were to say, he'll have till dawn
Right.
to give us
It's
the money,
much better.
much better. Because then you're like, okay, well,
Anything can happen right
if
now.
this movie blows,
Yeah.
I'm only here till daybreak. You know,
Yeah.
not 24 fucking hours
the sun
with these,
rises
with these
and the
weirdos.
sun sets again. We already saw the sunset.
I know. And then we were like probably a good 40 in, and the guy was like, all right, we just have to be here for 22 more hours. And you were
we're
like,
just like, what?
Oh no!
So like every 20 minutes or so, we'd be like, all right, 21 more hours. It's like the urgency is cut so far down.
Yeah.
And like the sun comes out at a certain point, and I'm like, okay,
It's over. This is the end of the movie.
You're used to it
And there's like
being over.
Bischke's like, there's 45 minutes left.
yeah, I'm all set for a vampire movie to be climaxing when the rays of light are coming through the windows.
Yeah.
You know?
Let the vampire get hit by the sun and finish it.
But I would like
there
to.
was so much time.
I would like to point out, salad crouton.
Yes.
In Act 1.
Salad crouton.
The bad guys are, babysitting Abigail, who's like locked up in a bedroom. And like one of the dudes is like, I don't trust any of these other dudes. Like, it's just you and me. We got to watch each other's back.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you got a kid, right? And Melissa Barr's like, yeah. He's like, well, we're going to get you back to him. We're going to get you back to the world. Now, I'm going to go this way. You go that way. And then he takes like 2 steps into the hallway.
And then he's like
he's like
You see him from
gurgling.
behind.
Yeah. And he's like got this very unnatural, rigid posture. And she's like, hey, are you okay? And she like walks up to him and we all just start kind of giggling because he just like promised her he would like help her.
Yeah.
And he was like the only capable, like trustworthy guy. And he's like, he walked right into like a throat rip or something.
Well, I knew he was in trouble too because they made him and the main girl, Melissa Barrera, they made them like fall in love immediately. And I'm
Yeah.
like, unless they know each other from their
Right.
previous
I thought they were
life,
going to know each other.
Clue style.
he
Yeah.
almost
Like-
kissed her in one scene.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? In this circumstance, they're both all lusty out of the blue. So I'm like, okay, they're just trying to make us care about him because he's gonna
get,
killed.
yeah.
But there's another crouton where Angus Cloud, R.I.P.
Oh
his
man,
final film,
they do him dirty.
dedicated to him. He actually dies first.
Oh,
He gets his head ripped off.
he should have passed on that, guys. That is what he passes.
I
on.
don't know. I think
he's a leading man. If I was coming off Euphoria,
he's not a leading
if
man.
people
but-
are offering me stuff, I'm going, I'm the lead. I'm in Midnight Cowboy. It's like me and some other guy, me and Bischke out on the street.
God. You guys.
I'm not going
You guys in Midnight Cowboy cosplay.
I'm not going to be the
You guys are
sex
driving me
pest. I'm not
nuts.
going to be the sex pest who's creeping in the girl's room
Creeping.
saying, I thought you were giving me looks earlier.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, you sure you want to get drunk with me? And then like my head gets ripped off and I don't do anything? Nah, fuck that. I would have pushed those guys out of my face and like thrown the script at them.
It was
kind of like a Ray Liotta ending. Like, it's,
And by the way, if I'm the filmmakers and he dies like that, I'm changing his death. I'm like, yeah, he gets dragged off. We'll do some ADR. We're not doing the head gag because it's a disgrace. I'm not having his poor mother who just buried him, have to go to the premiere of this shit and watch the ghost of her son's head fall off.
Yeah.
These are all very valid points.
Yeah.
But he did get his head ripped off. Crouton is Abigail dancing to Swan Lake with his headless corpse. It was sweet and it was creepy.
It was a good corpse.
And what was interesting about that, the most interesting part of that was that they walked in and then she kind of looked embarrassed when they saw her,
like they saw her
which
kink.
I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, I loved that scene. I mean, shit just goes on for too long. That's
I
the
feel
problem.
Like, I feel like
Okay.
once she turns into a vampire, you cannot stop. It just has to go from from dusk till dawn.
It
Just
has
goes.
to
We
go
do not
crazy.
need a bunch of
It
like
has to go
down points.
Yeah, you do
No.
not need any other scenes because they repeated a scene where like first Melissa Barr is like, I know everything about everyone here, and then like Abigail's like, I know everything about
There's
everyone here.
Too
It's like,
long.
Yep.
damn,
Yep.
it, like we
sections of it,
already
yeah.
went
Yep.
through this shit.
Yeah, and it takes too long for each person to die. It's just like
Yeah.
there's a good 20-minute chunk between each death. It feels like. And
But
There's a couple of misses.
Right. I'll throw in another crouton though. When
There was a few.
When she is manipulating the body of the hacker,
Mm-hmm.
there's some good editing with the dance intercutting. And it's all to the strains of Lodgecast darling Glenn Danzig.
Oh,
song
sweet,
called
sweet
Blood and
Danzig.
Tears.
There was a crouton when she landed in that body, the pool.
Yes.
The pool
Oh my
body.
God.
Poltergeist
straight
callback.
poltergeist.
She
Yeah.
falls
was
into this
gross.
moat of like decomposing bodies, and there are hundreds of bodies.
There's a lot of bodies.
and it's just
Ew.
Bodies,
It was
bodies.
wet.
the
you
water
know?
is like it's like a swimming pool just full of bodies, and the water is just like thick, and there's flies everywhere, and she gives a proper response to that.
Yeah.
It was gross.
Gross.
This movie in
Disgusting.
general was gross.
Yeah, I don't like myself some gore too
But
much.
there was no eye trauma, Bischke.
There was no eye trauma, but when it gets this gory, like when you just
But it was funny though because
Blood
Melissa
explosion.
Barra always had her hair like perfectly blow dry,
And makeup, and
like
makeup.
everyone else
Perfect.
is blood covered and greasy and
think-
sweaty, and she's just like totally fresh.
I think it was in her contract. She's like, the first 2.5 acts, I need to be pristine, and then
Yeah, she needed it
do
for
what
real.
you will.
yeah.
Yeah.
But to your point, Bischke, with the gore, even the flourish that happens when the vampires die in this is lifted directly
Exactly.
from Ready or Not. And I don't know if it's legal to pay homage to yourself, but I think they're ripping themselves off. It's like brazen. I'm like, holy shit.
Man, I
The
can't even remember.
auteurs.
I can't even remember Ready or Not really, so
Yeah.
I didn't remember.
I'm trying to
but
leave a little mystery here,
I'm not
but
surprised.
pretty weird that the same filmmakers did that. Like, I kind of can't believe that I saw that.
Patting yourself on the back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with it. Like artists will repeat their stuff again and again.
But,
and
like,
again
within
and
The
again.
Tarantino trunk shot, looking up.
But within like
the
a couple years of each, I don't know.
the De Palma split diopter.
It's like
don't
still
know.
effective, but it is like a little lazy, but it's still effective.
yeah,
I think.
guess so. So Dan Stevens gets bit and he becomes a super vampire.
That
Yeah,
was
but
another
before
that
that,
was another crouton
totally.
where it
Oh, shit.
cuts to Giancarlo Esposito, who we thought was just like a human lawyer that like got everyone to like stay at the haunted house,
He
but like
turns
but
around.
really, yeah, his intro in the basement as like the night watchman who's been watching them the whole time on closed
So
circuit
funny.
monitors. He's got his vampire contact lenses in and his vampire
Yeah.
teeth. And there's like this first shot intro of him looking directly at camera where he's like, "Good evening."
I was like, whoa. Okay.
And I was like, Bischke, that's a gift. Like you gotta
It
gift
was
that
it was
shit.
really good. But wait, let me ask a question because
Please.
you know how so there were people dying while the girl was tied up. I mean, she was
Right.
cuffed.
Right.
So do we think that was him?
Yes, that's how I
Okay.
heard
Her
dad?
Well, no,
No.
Giancarlo.
Yes.
Oh, of course.
Or no, maybe
Yeah.
it was her dad. Maybe it was her dad though.
No, her dad was
Okay.
coming. He said,
Oh,
I
okay.
called her dad because her dad had never come
Ah.
before. So I think
Or
it
it could
was.
be her slipping in and out of the cuffs. She could do
Got
that
it.
too.
You think, okay. So we don't
Got
know.
it.
So it's
Unclear.
okay. All right. Just
They
wanted
didn't.
to
They didn't really
bring that up.
underline that. Yeah.
Need to ask your dad, babe.
Yeah, I think he knows. I think only my dad knows.
Call him right now.
He will call in to leave his review also, by the way.
But speaking about Abigail's dad, we made a joke that like Kevin Spacey was going to step out of like a wardrobe, like singing some kind of like Bobby Darin song, you know, like she was his dad.
Yeah, they-
because she keeps like alluding to him like he's Kaiser Soze.
Well,
like,
and
my
they
dad
set
was
up
R.
all the code names for the Ocean's 11 cents are Rat Pack names. So, and then there's Rickles
Don Rick.
as well. So yeah, the Kevin Spacey,
I'd be Don Wrinkles in that scenario.
the Kevin Spacey twist would have been nice, but as it is, the ending just drug on for way too long.
Oh my! There was
Yeah.
twist
It
after
lost
unnecessary
me.
twist
It
after
lost me,
unnecessary
man.
twist.
Yeah.
If you ask me,
Like this
Yeah.
movie could be so crisp and clean.
Yeah.
And it just
Don't
I think Ready or Not
overcomplicate
was
it.
90 minutes. Just make it 90 minutes. Like,
Man, that should have been 90 minutes.
Yeah. But right after it ended, right when the credits rolled, it tried to push us into Megan. It was like up next, Mathregan.
Oh,
right
man.
up next.
The algorithm knows how to serve it up for us.
Oh my
oh,
god.
man.
Well, this ain't Mathregan. This is Abigail. Let's go them Abigail. Whoa!
All right. Keeping it hot.
Keeping it so
Hot.
fucking hot. It's so hot. Bishke, you are first to bone.
Okay.
First to bone.
We got a modern horror masterpiece here.
Oh, what?
Much
right.
much like the Black Phone.
Oh no.
No, people love this. This is what horror is these days, and they are
What
loving
is
it.
what horror is these days?
It's better than Black Phone.
Well, it's
Black Phone, where Ethan Hawke just sleeps in a chair and nothing happens.
No, I did not like Ready or Not.
Did not.
Except for Andy McDowell. If you remember, I will not forget my love for Andy
Your
McDowell.
priorities are all messed up.
And
But
then
go on.
I don't even know what you're saying.
I hated Scream 5, Scream.
Oh yeah, Scream 4, and then Scream.
And I'm surprised Lodgefather, with all the profanity in this film,
And
Right?
the gore.
and the gore,
I think he can handle gore. It's the profanity that gets
the
it.
dialogue just gets fuck you, fucking fuck you, you fucking fuck. That kind of stuff. I didn't mean to swear, but
Maybe he likes it.
maybe he likes it. One location.
From
I
Vamps.
thought it was uninspired genre mixing. And I thought it was just a lousy horror comedy. I don't like these guys. And I'm just gonna be a hothead. I'm just
Oh shit!
Yeah, get
Whoa,
hot.
be a
whoa.
goddamn hothead and give it a woof. I just don't like these. I didn't want to come here. I did want to come here, but I didn't want to
Not like
watch this movie.
Not like this.
Didn't want to watch it.
Not
Oh,
like this.
woof.
Bischke's been loading that musket for months.
I was just like that one location,
Ooh.
and I know Abigail's a vampire already. I don't want to see this anyway.
He's running hot tonight. Folks.
Sorry.
Oh, no need to apologize. You
wanna-
are allowed a blown gasket every 100 movies.
Yeah.
You don't woof very easily.
I don't woof easily, but this had such a mixture of things I don't like about
Sure.
horror, so
Wow.
and about movies.
Imagine if there was eye trauma as well.
Yeah, sorry,
You'd have to go
I'm running
sub-
hot. I'm
sub
running
woof.
hot.
All right, let's cool you down a little bit with some love and light from Lodge Mistress. I know she likes an old creaky house.
I
She
love a
likes
creaky house.
a little vampire.
And I love a statue, daughter, and
Especially if that statue's got a hat.
Big old hat on.
statue has a hat. Yes. No, for me, this one location was not problematic.
Okay.
There was so many rooms,
Yeah.
I mean, and we got out of the place at the beginning, which was good.
And
you know
Lucas
what I
was
mean?
talking about the architecture. He's like, I like this.
I mean, there were some big rooms.
I like creaky,
Like,
spooky houses too.
The one location didn't bump me at all, and the acting was pretty good, I thought. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
and they had a lot of like kind of heavy hitters in this that
Yeah.
shocked me. That vampire at the end is from Discovery of Witches, and
Yeah.
he's a vampire in Discovery of Witches, much more handsome in Discovery of Witches.
Interesting.
He's locked in.
So
But-
they just
Yeah, they just
passed him off
I guess that
another
was
vampire thing.
I guess that was part of it.
Damn.
But, I thought the gore was too much, but it was good gore, in my opinion.
There you go.
You know what
High
I mean?
quality
Like,
gore.
I like the idea that, like, when you become, which I've never seen before, and I've seen a lot of vampires, that, like, when
Yeah,
you
you
become a vampire after you get bitten and then you drink whatever the other person's blood, that you just barf and barf and barf and barf blood.
Yeah.
Gross, but kind of inspired.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
So I mean, there were good things about this. I like a crew of folks being
Yeah.
together fighting a monster. Now they took on this vampire a lot of times, and some of them should have died sooner.
Yeah. It's repetitive.
Okay, if they were all going to die, then just kill them sooner. But I do like a crew of folks.
Yeah.
So you know what? For me,
You got simple desires. A crew of folks, big old house, some vamps.
and it looked good and it looked expensive.
There you go.
So I had low expectations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There were some plot issues. I did not understand, like, the ending, the turn,
Don't,
blah, blah,
just
blah.
Don't even worry about
like,
it.
I'm not, but I'm just saying we knew there'd be plot issues, and there were. But I'm going to give it, I was going to go higher, but Bishy's Wolf brought me down.
No.
I'm sorry.
Good.
It brought me down.
Is that a Brother Ben slump?
Yeah, it really is. Bishy slumped it
Down to what?
2.
Oh,
Yes.
It's a Brother Ben slump, y'all.
Utah, give me 2.
we so rarely get to use the slump. All right, hothead. What do you do? You had so many laughs, belly laughs
Yeah.
during this.
Broken clock is right twice a day. No, I saw the trailer too many times.
Yeah, we all did.
And I thought for sure we were going to get suckered into seeing it. And then when it left theaters, I was like, yes, like bullet dodge. And you were like, hey man, like I got some bad news for you. Yeah, like, I gotta show you these texts we've been getting. Like got some Venmo contributors that need us to see it. I was like, all right, I'm in. And I like, single location, spooky house, like strangers come together one dark stormy night.
Single location can be fun, Bischke.
Yeah. and I know like From Dusk Till Dawn is the template here is our baseline. But gosh, yeah, like this is a universal release. So they have a big monster marketing department. And yeah, they must have been like, no, we've got to sell the vampire angle. Otherwise it's going to be like a bait and switch and people are going to be mad. So yeah, I think if you see the trailer, you're kind of like, oh, okay, it's that. Like, yeah, I don't need to see that. Like, what else could I see in that besides like very clever, ingenious kills? But we don't really get that here. You get all those aforementioned croutons, sure. But it started to lose me when it turned into like usual suspects like Lazar's, the Kaiser Soze, and then later it's like revealed Abigail's like, yeah, playing with her food, yeah, but they're like complicating it or making it more convoluted where
convolution.
Like each person there did something indirectly to affect her dad. I wasn't even sure if her dad was real or not. Like I mean, Kaiser Soze wasn't real, so I was like,
so much unnecessary shit.
And then when her dad showed up and Millie like chuckled at who it was, I was like, okay, then it must be her dad. But yeah, it was just the bone train was losing me.
Yeah, the sun was scorching some bones off of it.
Yeah, and you're right. Like it should have been one night. The sun should have came up. That should have been the end. And then like, yeah, our lead actress who's got a kid gets bit. So we're assuming she's going to turn into a vampire eventually. But she like drives off into the night.
Abigail,
so like she is a vampire.
You missed. You keep asking this. Abigail stated it very clearly.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I'm bit. Am I going to? And Abigail's like, no, you're fine because he's dead now.
The guy who bit her is dead.
Got it. Okay.
Killed the vampires.
Again, we don't need to go into any of this. It's such a fucking headache.
Yeah, I missed that. Okay. Because yeah, like by the end of it, when Abigail and Melissa Barr are teaming up because like she's too weak to take him on her own. I realized, really isn't Abigail's movie. It definitely is Melissa Barr's. Like Melissa Barr's got like the meaty backstory.
We know
and,
the
like,
least
agency.
about Abigail.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, man, it kind of would have been cool if it was just about this vampire girl picking these people off one by one. And like Lodge Mistress Millie was saying, like if each of the crew members got picked off earlier.
Yeah.
So the midpoint is like Melissa Barr is the final girl, the only one left. But she's literally got to use her wits and like everything about her to survive now for the next 30 minutes, right? Because like you could really ratchet up the tension, and then her dad can still show up and that could be like the twist or something. Yeah. But to like, make Giancarlo Esposito talk about how he and Dan Stevens used to be cops, ? He's
got to be in every movie now, so you just have to find a space for him.
And they're like the most thankless roles. Like they might as well be Zoom roles. He might as well be on like an iPad in the room, because he deserves that. Like don't make him put in the contacts.
There were some expo monologues like none others.
But yeah, but watching this made me long for the day of seeing From Dusk Till Dawn, because it really just felt like a much more fun, well-structured movie with better dialogue, and soundtrack, dancing song aside. So I'm going to give this one bone. One vampire bone.
A full bone more than Bischke.
Not
tonight.
low enough.
Bischke's dark-sided tonight. Somebody bit him.
I got bit.
Abigail makes From Dusk Till Dawn look like Citizen Kane.
Look at you gotta spread out your movie references with that one liner. It's always Citizen Kane.
Sorry.
It cannot always be Citizen Kane.
Sorry.
All right. Keeping it hot. I mean, I don't know. I think I enjoyed this more than you guys did. I thought it was a perfectly fine horror movie.
Cromulent
It was
movie.
very cromulent. And I just wonder how many Abigails are going to be pirouetting around on Halloween this year because it's such a fucking easy costume.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
But nobody saw it.
Tutu. Yeah, they did.
They did?
Horror fans did. Yeah.
Tutu and blood all over your mouth. That's all you need.
That's true. Point
And
shoes.
it reminds me of my friend's ultra low budget Hannibal Lecter costume back when we were 11. Shout out to Brother Tucker. He had white sweatpants, a white t-shirt, and then just dumped fake blood all over himself.
Whoa, that's terrifying.
And I'll never forget his dear mother laying eyes on him for the first time, and she almost just projectile puked right there in the living room.
Oh, man.
Because she did not like the sight of blood. But, you know, my mind was wandering back to, you know, amber tinted memories of that shit while I was wading through the 30 minutes at the end here that was just like, it just kept going on and on and on. It's just like, trim it all down, folks. But I will say, I enjoyed it more than you guys did. So I'm going to give it a full 2.5. No slumps.
Whoa.
No slumps.
Nice. Well, I think we enjoyed it the same. I just got swayed by Bischke.
It was a
can't-
full-blown experience.
You can't listen to Bischke when he's on full
tilt.
massacre mode.
Ice.
Well, there was nutrients to be had
Yes,
in this.
absolutely.
You
And
almost
I'm
had a
glad I saw
salad
it.
with those croutons.
Almost.
you
Why?
It's a stack of croutons.
Why did
Definitely
they bring
do.
back Andy McDowell? I want Andy McDowell.
All right. We'll let them know.
No, I don't need
And the
to
other
do that.
crouton we forgot to say is that when she kills the blonde girl in the daylight, she reflects the silver tray. She reflects the sunlight, and her head bursts.
Oh yeah, that was
that was
nice.
a crouton.
Yeah,
Yeah, the body bursts.
it's just a bowl full of croutons, but unfortunately, it does not a salad make. But it was fun watching it with you guys. Finally,
It
Yeah,
was.
we did it, man. We survived the 23 hours.
We did.
Yes.
We did.
And,
We made it till dawn and then some.
And now let us go to the phones and see what my dad has to say about this.
The black phone.
Love and light, y'all.
Love and light.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Greetings, Lodge cast members. This is the Lodge Father. I've taken my job as senior delegate for reviewing movies that might be okay for matinee prices. One such movie is Abigail. My correspondent spouse and I went to the opening showing weekend, 3 o'clock matinee prices. We were the only ones in the theater. Go figure. What happens if you mix a ballerina, a little vampire magic, and lots of goo pouring out of pails from somewhere, splashing about? You've got a wild movie. Way too much swearing for our tastes, but oh well. 2.5 bones, minus half a bone for all the cuss words. That's just the way it is. I'm assuming the Lodge gang will make this one of their priorities to review for all the listenership. That's all I have to say. I take my job seriously as a senior representative of movie reviews.
I find it so hard to find any reason to this kind. As she twists and she whirls and she dances it all away. The problems persist, they won't go away. She twists and she whirls, dancing it all away. Rather see the night than the reason of the day.
Fuck you fucking fuck. Fuck you, you fucking fuck.